Fuck it, you can even as long as you're listening to an audiobook while you're doing it. This is how important this is. Wake up. Moving on. Number 7. This is everything you need to know about Behold a Pale Blue Horse in one flashcard.
Basically, I read a book and here present to you the crucial key points that are the synthesis of the whole book.
My name is ARPI and welcome to How to be ARPI. The tools for success are here. Now let us use them on the daily. That's point number 0. Welcome to the flashcard series. Finally, let's begin with the 15 crucial points. This is the disclaimer. This gives you an understanding of the book, and it's not the book in its entirety, only the cool parts. If you want full absorption, read the whole damn book. How to be ARPI is merely a guide, not instructions. Number 1. Never worship a leader. You lose sight of when you are deceived. What this means is that if you swallow every word that a leader speaks and take it as fact, you are a slave to them. What we ought to do is think for ourselves. If we do not think for ourselves, we are subjected to the whims of whoever thinks for us. You know who I'm talking about. Number 2. Heed this, or you'll be living in a mental concentration camp. Think of the word heed as apply. I'm not saying you'll live in one. I'm saying that your mind will live in a state of distress if you allow yourself to blindly follow the shepherd. Instead, we could release ourselves from this mental jail by educating ourselves into learning how to think for ourselves. Enough said. Number 3. We must solve the problems we face before we are made to. If we ignore the problems that we face, the Hydra gains more heads that will eventually need to be decapitated. It's better to cut the problem at its root before it takes hold of your freedom. For example, if you don't take care of the mold in your shower, in 1 month you will need to call a person to replace the whole shower because the mold started to grow and grow and grow. This is an exaggeration, of course, but you get the gist, right? Right, moving on. Number 4. A paradigm shift for the world is the only real long-term answer. Shit, here comes the train. We cannot simply feed a hungry person a fish. We must teach the hungry person how to fish. This is exactly the thesis of this channel. I seek to teach you how to fish, which in this case is making the practice of reading fun. Otherwise, we are no better than the apes. Number 5. We must accept individual responsibility for the world's problems. And I'll tell you why. If we blame someone else for a problem, we are giving away our own autonomy to make great changes in the world. That's all I have to say. Number 6. Education seems to me to be a major part of the solution. Now, I think what we face in this world is that World War III already begun. But it's not a physical war like the past 2 wars. It is a war on the mind. I think we have become so attached to our technology that we have become cyborgs. Look at us right here, right now. We have the solution to every problem in our hands, and yet we choose to scroll with it instead of saving the world. And now we have the opportunity to use this tool in order to have leverage to save ourselves. I meant to improve ourselves. For example, audiobooks. We can educate ourselves while we take a walk, or do the dishes, or just lay in bed. Fuck it, you can even as long as you're listening to an audiobook while you're doing it. This is how important this is. Moving on. Number 7. What if the whole world changes in a very short period of time? In a way, we experienced this, something akin to this, a few years back. I'm saying we need to prepare for the next one, because it's coming someday. When this day comes, there are only two choices of reaction to the world event. Number 1, you're like, oh, why did this have to happen to me? And number 2, when you're like, finally, yes! I've been preparing for this. I've been training for this. Number 2 is obviously the cooler option. It's way more awesome. For now, let's go to number 8. Do we dream reality, or is reality a dream? There is no way to know if we are dreaming or not right here, right now, as we speak. You could say that you're not dreaming, but also you have said that in dreams, and then you wake up and you said, oh, I guess I was dreaming. I was blind, but now I see. It is better to take control of this dream, regardless of whether it's a dream or not. There we go. Right, next one, number 9. I shall learn to live in reality instead of fantasy land. Since this is the reality that we live in, this world, then I vote that we learn to play the game of life. We're going to have to live this life for potentially many more decades. And the sooner we start to learn how the game is played, the easier the life will be for us. It makes sense if you think about it. Why live in a fantasy that will never come to pass? It feels good, but it serves no purpose. And we are utilitarian here. Utilitarian means that if it serves a purpose, use it. And if it doesn't, away with it. Let's move on to the next one. Number 10. Our government was founded of the people, by the people, for the people. We must remember that the United States was built upon a trust of each other, of the people. We can each apply this truth, and when we do, we will have saved America, the greatest nation in the goddamn. This is the formula. Be the change you want to see in the world equals you nudge the world in a different direction. That's what it is. And this is how we will restore America to its true glory. The glory days. Right. Number 11. The people has the power to force government disclosure today. If we are to set aside our differences, left, right, red, blue, black, white, and focus on the task at hand, we can start a clean slate for the country, and maybe even the world. Anyway, let us say that the people collectively joined and agreed to demand the government to force disclosure of all the secrets that they've been hiding from the people. If this were to happen, then the government would have no choice than to reveal what they've been hiding all along. You're gonna love this next one because it works in tandem with this point. Number 12. The people... Number 12. I don't know how, but it must be done yesterday and ninja silently. If I would have wrote down, I don't know how, but it must be done today, everyone would have an excuse as to why they cannot do it today. Or why they don't want to do it today. That's why I wrote yesterday. And don't even get me started about, I don't know how, but it must be done tomorrow. Cause oof! Yesterday creates urgency, which is what we need today. Not yesterday. Well, we need it yesterday. Fuck. Wake up. By ninja silently, I mean that merely discussing it won't change a damn thing. It's like the saying, show, don't tell. Actions don't talk. They move ninja silently, and yet they make waves of emotion. Much more than the drop that is a word, or words. We must force government disclosure yesterday. Number 13. You are accompanied by a guardian angel at all times. You don't need to be religious or even spiritual to believe this. Would you rather live in a world where you are not accompanied by a guardian angel, or one where you are? If you don't believe that guardian angels are real, then why does the term exist if it's not real? Just know that you are indeed being watched over. In the good way, not in the stalking way. Meditate on this. Moving on. Number 14. We must love others, share, abhor violence, and live with nature. The only way to indeed end all world-sized problems is to love each other. You love me, and I love you. However, if we try to cheat, lie, or steal, this will be a never-ending war amongst each other, where no one wins and no one is happy. Violence is never the answer to a problem, and the only way to end violence is to abhor violence. You cannot fight fire with fire in this scenario. And finally, we must live with the flow of nature and not abuse it. Just like we live with the seasons, jacket in the winter, shorts in the summer, we must live in according to the universal laws of the universe. I'll go about this in another video. And lastly, number 15. The human will once again conform to the survival of the fittest. I don't believe this means the most strongest and aggressive person will win and rule the world. What it means by fittest, the most fittest, is that the most flexible and adaptable person is the one who is going to win and thrive in this game of life. End of story. Holy fuck. If you abhor this video, make sure to tell me in the comments. And please definitely do not check out my other flashcard videos. I'm sure you won't like them. Show flashcard. Oh, and finally, here is the flashcard. And here is the other side. Screenshot it so that you have it for the rest of your life forever. My name is ARPI, and I will continue to do good until the day I die. Ah!